Yeah, my mom died of cancer, and from my understanding, she didn't want any help. She didn't want any chemo. She didn't want to live any longer. She just didn't want a prolonged death. She wanted to die. So something about prison, you can't be out during certain count times. So in prison, you get counted. There's mandatory counts. There's a 6 o'clock count, and then depending on what level you are, if you're in there for like attempted murder, for like LWOP, which is life without the possibility of parole, you're a higher security risk, so you have to go in at certain times for more counts. But there's a 6 o'clock mandatory count, there's a shift change mandatory count, then there's a 4 o'clock mandatory count, then there's of course a 10 o'clock mandatory count, so there's mandatory counts. And then at a family visit that I had with my mom and sister, you get counted in the middle of the night 3 times, so your sleep sucks. You got to come out there.
Like every hour.
Yeah, you get counted a lot.
Oh, what the hell? I just want to sleep. Joe. And I
I
told
know.
Joe, just sleep in your clothes. No.
Yeah, because you got to go out there fully clothed, and you got to say your
Just stay in
CDC
your
number,
clothes.
P49780. Still remember it.
That's fucked.
Yeah, so you're basically a number. So,
What I remember about that visit, I'm still sad to this day. You made me some guacamole,
oh yeah.
but I was sleeping, and it went so bad, and I still feel bad that I didn't eat it.
Yeah.
Your mama made it, I think.
Yeah, that was. I didn't see my mom much when I was in prison, but I remember seeing her at a conjugal visit. It's a family visit, so my son was supposed to come too, but I wasn't able to see him. That's why I got to see my mom and sister. I won't talk too much about the conversation that I had with my mom on the phone. I'll wait until I actually get permission to go to the actual room. But I will talk a little bit about like walking into the rotunda from work, and then because usually I went to work and I just came back into the rotunda, and it was count time, and the officer, I remember what officer was. Well, he talked to me a lot. His name was Sanchez, Mexican guy. I had a lot of years in. He was really cool. He was the only correction officer that never really gave me a hard time about all the different things that I did while I was still in prison. Like I stopped watching television. I stopped associating with fellow gang members. I started reading a lot. I wrote a lot. But I mean a lot. I mean like hours and hours. I worked out a lot. Like I destroyed my body, and I destroyed other people's bodies. I ran contests in there, like fitness contests, just so that I can stay active, mentally active. But he was the one that was actually there and told me to jump on the phone. I remember walking up to the phone, and I didn't really know what to expect, because and everybody's supposed to be in a cell getting counted, and I was the only one on the phone, with a devastating conversation. I would like to ask, I would like to ask how you felt. I don't know if you remember, if you even think about it.
How I felt.
Yeah, knowing that she had to call me while I was in prison and I couldn't be there. I don't know if that's something that you guys talked about, because from what I recall, everybody was there.
No, but I remember her being really happy to be on the phone with you. And it was better than not seeing you. She was happy. I mean, she did have tears, my Joey, or Joey, as she called you. Joey. So yeah, he's on the phone. But I don't know what she said to you.
Yeah, I know.
She was really happy to talk to you. She said, make sure you take care of him when he comes out. I said, I will. Always will.
Yeah. I'll talk about that when we're in the house. But I was always curious to know like what things happened like leading up to it. Did she know? Because you guys never sent me pictures anymore. I kept asking for pictures, because that's how you live life in there, through pictures and mail, and they just stopped sending me pictures of my mom. apparently she was just decrepit, and she got very small, from my understanding. I don't know. I still haven't seen a picture of her when she died. But
If you want to see them, I have them. Thank you.
yeah, my mom.
It's hard to see them.
Yeah, my mom died of cancer, and from my understanding, she didn't want any help. She didn't want any chemo. She didn't want to live any longer. She just didn't want to prolong death. She wanted to die. I know why. I mean,
My dad did the same thing. He just wanted to try to eat healthy and see if he could kick it like the natural way.
With her it was different. She didn't have a good life with my dad. He was very abusive, verbally, mentally, I'm sure physically when she was younger. And she felt like this is the way out.
He's ready to go.
Yeah. Even though we didn't want her to. I mean, I just had my daughter Violet. I don't think she was even long enough. And I think when, like, the last few weeks, when she realized it was too late to kind of do anything about it, because he progressed so bad from the lungs to everywhere else in her body, she kind of realized, oh, I'm not going to see anyone anymore. And then she started crying. And I said, you made the decision, last year, now it's too late. So she kind of, in the end, she did regret. She wasn't ready to.
She wanted to hang on to it for a little bit. Yeah.
Said, I want to see Joe come home. I want to see, his son. She wanted to see my daughter grow up. I have 3 older kids, and she saw them grow up. And Violet was the one that really looked like me. She was me. So she said, oh my gosh, I wanted to see her grow up. So, right, I think like not even a few hours before she passed, my daughter Violet says, bye, Boomy. It's like she knew. We just started crying, and my husband and I started crying. My dad is like, why is she saying bye? And I said, I don't know. So she knew before we even knew.
It's trippy, huh?
Yeah. But I was there until the end when the nurse called me. I was the only one there with her, and I kissed her. I remember kissing her and hugging her because she was hanging on. I mean, she did not want to let go, and I said, because we went through a lot of hard times. I mean, we want to think she was a perfect mom, but nobody's perfect. So I don't want to say really kind of made up, she apologized, I apologized for not being such a great daughter that she wanted, and same with her, not being the best mom, and I said, it is what it is. But I said, you can let go now, I'll take care of everyone, because I always do, and I always will. And she just, like, a relief came over her, and she just took her last breath, and she was gone.